Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. In this session, I will talk about networking, partnership, and international ecosystem within European projects, more specifically VET projects. These are three key elements that are strongly interconnected and that play a crucial role in the success and sustainability of international projects. So, let me briefly introduce what we are going to cover today. First, we will look at networking both at European and local level and why it is so important. Then we will move on to partnership, focusing on how to build a strong partnership and how to manage them effectively. Finally, we will explore the concept of international ecosystem building, which goes a step further and focuses on long-term collaboration and impact. Okay, let's start with networking. Networking is a key pillar of European funded projects because it allows organizations to connect, collaborate, and co-create solutions across different contexts. But networking is not just about creating contact, it's about expanding your network through platforms, events, and stakeholders, staying active by engaging and sharing, and most importantly, building trust over time. That's why strong networks are not built in one day. They require continuous interaction and long-term collaboration. Okay, when we talk about networking at European level, there are several important platforms and networks you can connect with. For example, the SAM network aims to bring that system closer together, especially to support future mobility projects. Another key network is FVET, which connects different actors in vocational education and training to improve collaboration and quality. Being part of these networks helps you find partners, exchange knowledge, and stay connected to European opportunities. There are also other important organizations you can engage with. For example, European Association of Institutes for Vocational Training brings together vocational training institutions from across Europe, creating a strong international community. And the European Training Foundation works with partner countries to support the development and training of education and training system. Connecting with these organizations allow you not only to expand your networks, but also to better understand international priorities and policy. Okay, at the same time, networking is not only international. Strong local networks are actually the foundation of successful projects. And at local level, you can connect with actors such as Erasmus Plus national focal points, which can support you in understanding how to participate in program and opportunities. You can also engage with youth delegation, which play an important role in connecting policies, development actions, and local stakeholders. And finally, building stronger local relationships ensure that your projects are relevant, inclusive, and aligned with real needs on the ground. Let me introduce you now to my colleague Enrique, which will guide you through the following part of our presentation, which is the one related to partnership. Partnership is the second big topic of this session. And it's very important because partnership, of course, transform networks into concrete collaboration. But I think that a very important thing is to guide you throughout consortium partnership of our organization of Mundus. So Enrique will describe you a bit this consortium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Enrique, and as my colleague Silvia said, I'm going to focus on some concrete examples of partnerships that were built within Mundus, and I'm going to tell you how we did it. So first of all, in order to search for partners, you can either be active on the EACEA portal when you have all the past Erasmus Plus projects and partnerships. You can participate in in-person or online events or discussions from ETF, EAFA, other kind of webinars, and focus on specific expertise that you need for your project. So if you're looking for entrepreneurial education, you should be looking for profiles that focus on entrepreneurship, or if you're looking for more technical expertise in a specific area like hydrogen or renewable energies, you should be looking for people that are actually working in those fields. So, how to identify the right partner is a key aspect of your project. So, again, if you're active in the portal, you can always have to have mouth to mouth recommendations as well from other projects. And if you meet the person face to face in events and discussions, it's always easier to then create the right partnership. Now we're going to focus on some specific examples that we had during our past projects. And again, strategic partnerships are not just random partnerships, okay? They need to be built on complementarity, shared vision, and mutual benefit, okay? In EU projects, partners are selected not only for their expertise, but also for their ability to contribute to innovation and impact. Okay, so that's something that the evaluator of EU projects will give credit to. If you find a well-balanced partnership with strategic partners that actually respond to the real needs of the project and is not just a random partnership. For example, our project Shine, in which we are coordinators, involves Mundus as the coordinating organization, Zubiguni Foundation in northern Spain, which actually brings the expertise related to the project, ACME, a Greek vet school, one of the largest vet schools in Europe, which provides also the vet expertise and the teacher expertise, and also a knowledge platform from the University of Leiden in the Netherlands. So Shine is a capacity building project in the field of solar energy, whose target countries are Nigeria, Ghana, and Uganda. Okay, so it aims to develop a solar energy curriculum for TVET in these countries. That's why we chose both a vet school, the one in Greece, we chose a research platform that helped us do the needs analysis and find out what's actually needed in the TVET sector when it comes to solar energy. And we chose a technical partner, Zubigune Foundation in northern Spain, which brings the actual precise expertise that we need for solar photovoltaic technicians. And Mundus, which is a coordinating organization that has a lot of expertise coordinating CVVET projects. So as you see from the European side, we try to balance between non-profit organizations like Mundus, vet schools, universities, foundations. So several actors can be part of the consortium. And it is important to have all the expertise you need in order to implement the project. When it comes to partner organizations in Africa, we have Jobitech, which is a Salesian vet school in Nigeria. We have the Pan Atlantic University in Nigeria as well, a business incubator in Ghana, SSC, the Ghana TVET service as well, and Kiriandongo Training Institute, and Huizing Vocational Training Center. So these partners are preferably to be vet schools, because those are the ones that are going to implement the project. So they will be the ones developing the curriculum, implementing it, piloting it. And also, since the project has a little bit of entrepreneurship in it, we found it interesting to have an SME center or an incubator in order to promote the entrepreneurial part of the project. So this is one example. We're going to follow with another one. The Smart Step is a CVVET project which ended in December 2025, and it was about entrepreneurship. Okay, it was about creating entrepreneurial training in vet schools in Ghana and Cameroon. So for this matter, we were the coordinating organization again. We found a very specific good practice in the Polytechnic University of Valencia in Spain that was to be replicable, or that can be transferred to Africa. So this university has a specific sector within the university services, which helps students to create their own business. That's why we found that that was the expertise we needed to be transferred to African partners. Then we found VIS, which is an Italian organization that is an NGO focusing on community development all over the world, and the CAPME, which is the European Confederation of Small-Sized Enterprises. Those were giving us the ideas for the entrepreneurial good practices, the good practices from SMEs in Europe that could be transferred, and VIS was the link between Europe and Ghana in this case through the Don Bosco Youth Network organization. So again, we tried to gather proper expertise from Europe and then transfer it to Africa. Also in Africa, we had Prototype, which is the tech organization that created the website, the online platform. We had also in an institute from Cameroon, in Tim, which is a university and a vet center. Also the Complexe Scolaire Catholique Don Bosco in Cameroon. Startup SME centers, small-sized enterprise that was actually a partner also in Shine, and Don Bosco Youth Network that included 2 TVET schools in Ghana. So again, a lot of TVET schools, which are the primary beneficiaries of this type of project, but also a tech partner and a partner focused on entrepreneurship. Again, try to make a proper mix of entities that will make the project a success, and it was a success as it finished in 2025. Finally, last but not least, the sound project was a pilot project that Mundus coordinated, and the idea was to create or test if mobilities were possible between Africa and Europe in the vet system. So this is an example of a really big partnership with 17 European partners in 8 countries, and 19 African partners in 16 countries. So again, 24 countries, and we tried our best to keep balance between public and private schools, large and small organizations. And if you're curious about the SAM project, you can check it out online on sam.global.eu, and you can see some of the results. But just for you to see that in a big project, you can include associations like EVBB, NGOs like Mundus, networks of enterprises, our networks of vet schools like Don Bosco Tech Africa, and actual vet schools in Africa and in Europe. Finally, how to do management and best practices. So effective partnership in management in EU projects is also a key idea that we need in order to implement projects, because sometimes problems may arise, you have misunderstandings between partners. So my colleague Silvia will explain to you the importance of effective partnership management in EU projects.
Okay, thanks, Enrique. So now let's move to partnership management and best practices. Building a partnership is only the first step, but what really makes difference is how you manage the consortium over time. In European projects, effective collaboration requires clear structure, strong communication, and a shared vision among all partners. First of all, it is essential to define clear roles and responsibilities. Each partner should know exactly what they are expected to do and how they contribute to the overall project, and because this avoid confusion and ensures that everyone is aligned. Secondly, communication and coordination are key. You need to ensure transparent communication, regular updates, and strong coordination mechanism. This means not only sharing information, but also creating space for dialogue, feedback, and problem solving. Finally, sustainability and collaboration are crucial. It is important to promote shared decision making and build trust among partners, because this helps to create long-term collaboration that goes beyond the duration of the project itself. So overall, a successful partnership is not about working together, is not just about working together, but about working together effectively with clarity and a long-term perspective. Okay, now we move to the last part of our session, which is international ecosystem building. Building an international ecosystems means going beyond individual partnerships. So it is about creating a connected and sustainable network of actors who work together towards a shared impact. And this approach supports long-term cooperation and helps strengthen the connection between education and the labor market. It also ensures that the results of a project remain relevant and impactful even after the project has ended. So instead of thinking only in terms of single collaboration of a single project, we start thinking in terms of system that can continue to grow and evolve over time. What exactly do we mean by an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a dynamic network of interconnected actors who collaborate to achieve common objectives. In European project, this concept goes beyond individual activities. It focuses on creating long-term system of cooperation where different actors are connected and work together in a continuous way. This includes linking education systems, labor market actors, and public or private organization. The goal is basically to generate sustainable opportunities and foster innovation. So an ecosystem is not just something static, it's something dynamic that evolves, and it is built on continuous interaction and collaboration. To build a strong ecosystem, it is essential to involve the right stakeholders. So a strong ecosystem includes a wide range of actors, each bringing different roles and expertise and perspective. These typically include educational institutions, private sector organization, public authorities, civil societies organization, and of course, learner. So each of these actors contributes in a different way, as we saw in the consortium of our project that Enrique described. So engaging stakeholders from the beginning is very important. It ensures that project activities are relevant, inclusive, and aligned with real needs. So the more inclusive and well-connected your network is, the stronger your ecosystem will be. Now the question is, how do we actually build an international ecosystem? Developing an ecosystem requires a structured participatory approach. First of all, it is important to map stakeholders, to understand who is involved and what they can contribute to. Then you need to create space for dialogue. This can be through workshop, meetings, exchanges, joint activities where actors can connect and collaborate. Promoting collaboration is key, and this should not be occasional but continuous. Finally, long-term strategies are essential. This includes formal agreements, continuous engagement, and maintaining relationship over time. This is what ensures sustainability and long-term impact beyond the project life cycle. So to conclude, we have seen how networking, partnership, and ecosystem building are all interconnected, and they are not separate elements, but part of a broader process that leads to stronger collaboration, better project, and more sustainable impact. Thank you very much for your attention, and bye.